Welcome back to Firefly Studios. My name is Kadia, and today we are going to continue our Unity fundamentals. This time going into movement via a character controller, which is a kind of a halfway point between physics movement and teleportation, or directly translating something. So for this, I've set up a 3D project, as this is best explained in a 3D project, with just a ground tile, and then we got our player over here. And our player has this character controller component built in, added to it. This is something that Unity has created that makes movement fairly simple to set up. So let's dive straight into the script. We got all of our normal usings. We've got a character controller. We've got a velocity. This is going to determine our direction where we want to go. We've got a bool for are we grounded. We've got our speed, jump height, and gravity value. One thing of note is a character controller does not naturally apply forces to a player, so you won't be affected by physics, but it still checks physics when you move. So you can't move through a wall, or you'll be able to move up a slope, but if something were to push on you, it wouldn't move you. You would have to code that in yourself. So in the start function, we will get a reference to our character controller component and save that. And then we also are setting our minimum move distance to 0. By default, it is set to 0.0001. We want it at 0 because sometimes if we're not moving at all, it will cause weird things to happen with our ground detection, which is built in. We don't have to do any code for it. It's just controller.is grounded. In our update, we have that. Then here we are asking if we are grounded, and we are moving at a super slow rate in our y direction, which is up and down. We're going to set our velocity y to 0. This is just a safety measure that keeps us from moving just super slightly and affecting how we want to move. Then we have our move direction, and this is going to be getting our horizontal input. Again, where we get this from is if you go to Edit, Project Settings, and go to your input manager, your axes. These are built into Unity. So by default, you've got your horizontal axis, which is your left and right buttons, or A and D, or pressing on the joystick. Same thing for vertical, except vertical is vertical movement. So up, down, SW, all that good stuff. So what we're doing here is we're creating a direction that is 0 in the Y direction and is whatever our horizontal input, which is going to be a value from -1 to +1 on our x-axis, and for our z-axis, the same thing. So it's going to be -1 or +1. Then we just call our move function here, which reads in that movement in the direction times our speed times time.delta time. Again, all time.delta time does is it makes it so that a fast computer and a slow computer will both behave the same. Then we're going to say if we are moving, that's what this means. If move does not equal vector 3.0. So if we're getting input, if we are moving, we're going to rotate us so that we are facing the direction we're moving. That's what this line of code does. Then over here, we're asking, this was actually some testing I was doing when I discovered that you needed to add this line. So I can delete this. This is not relevant. We'll go on to the next line of code though, which is saying if we are pressing the jump button and we are grounded, it's also what this debug is for, so we can delete that. So it's saying if we press the jump button and if we are grounded, we're going to set our velocity in the y direction to the square root of our jump height minus 3.0 times our gravity value. So what this is going to do is it's going to move us up and then down. And then here, player velocity.y. This is plus equals gravity value. So this is constantly applying gravity to the player. Remember, you have to do that manually in a character controller. The engine just doesn't do it for you. And then we call controller.move player velocity. This handles our movement in the y direction. So this will make us move up and down for when we jump. That's character controller movement in a nutshell. I'm gonna hit play so we can see it all working. So we can move. You see that we turn to face our thing, And then if we hit the spacebar, we jump. And that's all there is to it. I hope you found this video interesting. Please hit the like and subscribe buttons, and I will see you in the next one.